talking about
one of the trickier things about figuring out your child.
Sleep.
Yes, because your child cannot talk and cannot follow directions.
And sometimes they are crappy sleepers.
And you cannot give them a sleeping pill.
Nope.
Yeah. We do sleep very differently.
Very.
Probably complete opposite.
And it's fine. We're still friends.
That's what I love. I was thinking about it. No, I was literally going home and I'm like, we really just have like a healthy conversation, and I'm never like that's like, and even like, leaving, but even behind your back, like, yeah. Like that sounds funny, but like Cindy going home, I'm just like, man, I just love and respect Jess, and I hold nothing against her for the fact that we do things differently.
It's okay. It's okay.
You guys, it's okay. That's fine.
Our kids are fine.
Our kids are great.
They're best friends.
There is a lot of info out there, so let's just cut it down to the very basics.
What you should do.
What you should do with your brand new newborn baby. Just came home from the hospital and you're like, what do I do?
That was in your belly for 9 months. But I think it's just to help prevent SIDS. Like it's just guidelines and stuff that they've gathered through the years on to help prevent SIDS. It's not going to 100% prevent SIDS. Yeah. It's going to lower your risk.
And SIDS stands for sudden infant death syndrome. In case. Anyway, so put them on their back. Keep the crib as bare as possible.
Okay, when I read that, I was super sad because I had this idea of like this cute little crib and this cute little nursery with the crib bumpers. And then I read that like, no bumpers or anything. And I was like,
I know. And then don't overheat your baby, which is harder than I thought.
It is.
Because you don't realize how warm they sleep. I didn't know with Dan what the recommended temperature was for SIDS, but it's actually 65 to 70 degrees, which is like cold.
Really cold. But I guess if they're like swaddled.
Yeah, they're like sweating their freaking balls off. But really.
No, yours is just me.
It's really hot. I think it's the same thing.
Oh, that air is lovely. Like, you need it.
We need like a fan. It'll blow us like Beyonce and we'll be cool. Have your baby sleep in your room.
Okay.
Breastfeed.
Wait. We have to.
This is kind of a misconception. People always say co-sleeping when they're talking about the baby sleeping in their bed, and that's actually wrong. Co-sleeping is when the baby's in your room,
just in their
their own sleeping area,
like a crib or a bassinet,
pack and play, whatever. And bed sharing is when the baby is in your bed. Breastfeed your baby if possible. I didn't know that was one.
I didn't know that either. I didn't know what pacifier was.
Yeah. Okay. You're jumping ahead.
Sorry.
Don't use a baby monitor or other commercial devices that claim to reduce the risk of SIDS. And we talked about the Owlet apparently claims that.
I feel like is like a big product that moms get.
It's huge. So, and then immunize your baby. I didn't know that either. That's just the recommended, this is what they say is safe sleep. It will help reduce the risk of SIDS.
Won't prevent it.
It won't prevent it. But a lot of that stuff is easier said than done. Don't you think? Putting it...
Oh
and when you put a newborn baby in their crib by themselves, don't they just look like the tiniest little thing that's about to get just... Yeah.
It looks so alone to me.
So,
like, to me, so I'm the bed sharer. I'm the co-sleeper over here.
Bed sharer.
Hey, we did both.
Okay, that's true.
We bed share now because they're older. But to me, like when they're newborns, like they were in your belly all like huddled and cuddled for like 9 months, and then you're just gonna peace out, homie. So we co-slept. I think you co-slept.
We did. Right? They both slept in our rooms until 4 months. They were loud, and I'm just like, see ya.
Yeah.
You guys are fine now.
With Bronx, he had really bad reflux, so we had him in the rock and play, which is now recalled, but before, like everyone used that. And Bodhi, we just had him in the DockATot on our bed, like at the beginning.
Dance up in the rock and play, and then once he got too big for that, because he was a humongo child, still is. We moved him in the DockATot in the pack and play, still in our room, and then by 4 months he was pretty much like sleeping on his own. Almost through the night, he would wake up once a night, and so I was like, we can move you to your room. Like, he wasn't swaddled anymore, and I felt comfortable moving in.
Yeah.
Conrad was in our room for 4 months, and we had to mess with it. He didn't like the rock and play. We played with the DockATot in our bed because I was like, if it's gonna get me sleep, I'll do anything.
Same.
And I said I'd never do it, but I did. We only did it for like 2 or 3 nights because it
didn't
really help. And so I moved him back to the pack and play, and then I sent him sayonara down to his room at 4 months too.
Yeah. You do the cry it out method, right?
I do the cry it out. With Dan, I was so lucky. Honestly, I barely had to sleep train him.
Yeah.
He just kind of did everything on his own, which is not normal,
yeah.
but he did. Dan was a magic baby.
I feel like Bronx was too. Like,
yeah, Dan was amazing.
Yeah.
Conrad, not so much. He was
You had to
good.
literally sleep train him.
I had to really sleep train him. I wasn't sleeping at all. He was waking up like every hour, wouldn't fall back asleep. So I moved him to his own room, and he would wake up at like 10, and I would go in every 10 minutes. Well, first I would do 5, and then I'd go in and comfort him. And then I would leave and let him do 10. And then I'd go in and comfort him. And then I'd go do 15 if he was still crying, and I'd go comfort him. And then he put himself to sleep. And it took like 3 days, and he finally was only waking up once a night.
Yeah.
And then...
How long did he cry the first night?
45 minutes.
It
was hard, but the
woman.
consistency is really the key, because if you're not consistent, they are not going to learn.
They just get confused.
And he learns, and Conrad goes down. It's so easy now.
That's
He's
awesome.
a great baby, and sleep training worked for us.
For us, it was kind of different. Like, we always kind of knew from the beginning that we were going to co-sleep, bed share. Our kids can our kids can sleep with us until they're 83 if we want. Like,
I know. I think you're gonna eventually end up with just 2 king size beds.
So Bronx, like I said, he was in the rock and play forever because of reflux, and then we have like a crib with the one side off of it, so he's like next to our bed, but he has his own space. Just because he moves so much. He is like a tornado. Bodhi was hard at sleeping. He was not a good sleeper. Bodhi, the complete opposite. Still to this day, he's almost 15 months old, and he has to be rocked to sleep. And there will be many times during the night where he crawls on top of my chest.
Aww.
And like, because he wants to sleep on top of my
too
chest.
Sweet.
I do love it. Like, when he's on my chest, I'll let him sleep, and then I move him.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of helped. And I think just the older he's gotten, like, he's just likes his space too.
Mm-hmm.
But there is nothing that I love more than like them kind of waking up and starting to like whine and roll over and like touch my arm or my face, and then they instantly go to sleep. Like,
that's so sweet.
it is. I don't know. We're probably a really weird family. Like, we love to be with each other. When my husband goes to the bathroom, like, I miss him. And also, like, it's a safety thing too. Like, I don't know, like,
well, knowing that you're all together,
we're
like
all there.
not having
If
to
something
worry.
were to happen, like, I don't have to worry about running into my kids' rooms and grabbing them.
Like a fire or a burglar. Like, you all know you're all together.
All together. So
I get that.
if you do want a bed share, like, from the very beginning, I would look up safe tips. For us, it was like we had 2 separate pillows, like queen size pillows, or so there was a gap between the pillow, and then when they're super newborn, we each have separate blankets. We sleep in just like a tank top. I would sleep with my arm out, and I'd have him like right here so he wouldn't go like on the other side of the mattress or something. Our 2-pound dog sleeps with us, and he's fine.
He's
so
teeny, even smaller than a newborn, and he's alive. So
we just don't move. We're not big movers, so it works for us.
Yeah, I think it's great. Yeah. So either way,
do it safely.
Yeah, do it safely. I will link the Sleep Sense Amazon link to go buy the book.
There's also, since we nursed Bodhi for so long at night, there's a method. It's the Dr. J. Gordon method, I think, that if you do bed share or co-sleep, it's a way to get rid of night feedings, but yet have them still in the same room. Because sometimes you hear like, oh, let dad do it, but it's
if
like,
you're both together.
Yeah, and I was Bodhi's comfort, and if dad took over, like, it would be a nightmare.
We would love to answer any questions, because we have a lot of helpful information, I feel like.
And we're going to do separate videos probably next week on our bedtime routine. So that will kind of show
how we do it,
the ins and outs of it.
So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel.
Please. Follow us on Instagram.
There we go. And see you next week.
Okay, bye.
That is literally one of my favorite movies in the whole
It's the best. It is the best.
What is your name? Stove?
No,
it's Steve. What are you, an appliance? Here and I'm ready to party, yo, with the best of them. And I'm gonna go down to the river. 2 women in Paris. You're all thinking what I'm thinking, right? Lesbian. Okay, that was the last one. I'm just thinking of big balls.
You're thinking of baby balls or big balls?
Baby.
Baby.